Trump holds a rally in Kentucky and tells the crowd the war was won. But US intelligence privately concludes that Iran's regime is not collapsing, not even close. $11 billion spent in 6 days, no protests in Tehran, no sign of surrender. Iran's president reveals terms. 3 conditions, none of them unconditional. Someone is lying to the American people. "13 days into the US and Israeli bombardment of Iran, a picture is emerging that few in Washington or Jerusalem may want to acknowledge. The regime in Tehran is not going anywhere, at least not yet. According to a Reuters report, Iran's leadership remains largely intact and retains control of the Iranian public. Multiple intelligence reports, described as consistent, conclude the government is not in danger of collapse. That assessment sits awkwardly alongside Donald Trump's victory lap at a campaign-style rally in Kentucky on March 11th.
Most people say it's already been won. It's just a question of when. When do we stop? We don't want to let it regrow, and ideally would like to see somebody in there that knows what they're doing. In other words, they can build a country. Now, one other thing, we can hit sections of Tehran and other places that, if you do it, it'll be almost impossible for them to rebuild their country.
Meanwhile, the Pentagon told senators in a closed-door briefing that the first 6 days of the war alone cost more than $11.3 billion. And lawmakers believe the true figure is considerably higher, since that estimate does not include munitions replacement costs. In Jerusalem, the picture is equally unsettled. A senior Israeli official told Reuters that in closed discussions, Israeli officials have acknowledged there is no certainty the war will bring down Iran's clerical government. No significant protests have broken out inside Iran since the bombing began. Iran's police chief warned on March 11th that anyone taking to the streets would be confronted, in his words, as an enemy, not a protester, with all security forces' fingers on the trigger. Netanyahu appeared to quietly walk back earlier hopes of a popular uprising, saying that while Israel's aspiration was to help Iranians cast off tyranny, it was ultimately up to them. Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Saar, in a closed briefing with foreign diplomats, declined to set any timeframe for the campaign and acknowledged the government in Tehran could survive, though he expressed confidence it would eventually fall. On the streets of Tehran, the mood is one of quiet defiance rather than revolt.
I hate this regime. I want it to go, but under bombardment, there are no streets left to protest in.
Meanwhile, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian set out Tehran's clearest public demands yet for ending the war, posting them directly on X on March 11th. He said he had spoken with the leaders of Russia and Pakistan and had 3 conditions to stop the war.
The only way to end this war, ignited by the Zionist regime and US, is recognizing Iran's legitimate rights, payment of reparations, and firm international guarantees against future aggression.
Those terms stand in sharp contrast to Washington's position, which has demanded unconditional surrender. The question now, after almost 2 weeks of war, is this: is America prematurely claiming victory because it has already lost? Iran's newly appointed supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, is reported to be safe and sound, despite earlier speculation that he may have been injured during the ongoing conflict with the United States and Israel. The reassurance came from Youssef Pezeshkian, a government advisor and the son of Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian.
I heard news that Mr. Mojtaba Khamenei had been injured. I have asked some friends who had connections. They told me that, thank God, he is safe and sound.
The statement follows several days of uncertainty surrounding the cleric's condition and whereabouts. It has been nearly 4 days since Iran named Mojtaba Khamenei as the country's next supreme leader, succeeding his father, Ali Khamenei. Yet, since the announcement, the 56-year-old has not appeared in public, delivered a video message, or issued a written statement addressing the nation. Instead, Iranian state media has relied largely on archival footage to introduce the new leader to the public. At the same time, reports from state television have referred to him as a janbaz of the Ramadan War, a Persian term often used to describe someone who has been wounded in conflict. The phrase meaning an injured war veteran was used by news anchors while reporting on his elevation to the country's highest political and religious office. However, no details about the nature of any injury were provided, fueling speculation about his physical condition. Mojtaba Khamenei has long been a controversial figure within Iran's political landscape. During the mid-2000s, critics widely believed he played a role in the rise of Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, whose presidency began in 2005 and marked one of the most confrontational periods in modern Iranian politics. The disputed 2009 presidential election that secured Ahmadinejad's second term triggered widespread demonstrations known as the Green Movement. In response, security forces, including the Basij militia, moved to suppress the protests. Demonstrators were beaten, detained, and in some cases killed. Many Iranians came to associate Mojtaba Khamenei with the crackdown that followed those protests. In recent years, Mojtaba had gradually stepped further into the public spotlight. Figures within Iran's political establishment increasingly presented him as a potential successor to his father. Some attempted to portray him as a comparatively moderate figure, though critics dispute that characterization. Accounts from defectors and former insiders have also shaped perceptions of the new leader. One such figure, Jaber Rajabi, who says he studied alongside Mojtaba Khamenei in the seminaries of Qom, has described him as even more ideologically rigid than his father. Rajabi has warned that the cleric is driven by strong ideological convictions and views himself as having a historic role in regional conflicts. In an interview before the war, Rajabi said,
Mojtaba Khamenei is more dangerous than 50 nuclear bombs. He believes he will lead the army carrying the black banners to liberate Jerusalem.
The picture that emerges of the new leader is terrifying. A man shaped by secrecy, financial corruption, the most brutal security networks, and ideological fanaticism. Meanwhile, international reactions have begun to emerge following the leadership transition. North Korea has publicly voiced support for Iran's decision, condemning what it described as the illegal attack by the United States and Israel, and stating that it respects Iran's right to choose its own leader. As speculation continues over the new leader's health, authority, and future direction, Mojtaba Khamenei's sudden ascent marks a pivotal moment for Iran. In the midst of war and mounting geopolitical tension, the country now faces an uncertain chapter under a leader who has yet to address the nation directly.